Some people say some people don't want help. They don't want help at all. They just want to ask you a bunch of questions and not get any help at all. Kind of give you the silent middle finger and just run off and after they ask for your advice. So, how can we break it down? The core difference between someone who wants help and someone who wants attention: help seekers take action, attention seekers repeat the story. And enabling attention seeking keeps people stuck. Welcome back to the Marcus Allgood Show. I appreciate you both watching and sharing the show and getting the word out there. If this brings you any value, please like it, subscribe, and download the podcast, or definitely share it. I really appreciate it. So let's break it down a little bit. The difference between wanting help versus wanting attention. There's a lot of attention seekers out there, and it's hard to tell the difference. And once you do, you don't go back to them. Don't let them keep sucking your time and wasting your time. But people who want help ask for tools. They apply the feedback. They take uncomfortable steps. They make changes quietly. People who want attention now, they retell the same story over and over, reject solutions, stay in crisis mode. They never take action to get the help. And they want sympathy and not responsibility. They just want you to feel bad for them. They don't want to do anything about it. They want you to feel bad. They want you to be like, oh, it's going to be okay. They want to take your advice, take your time. They want to sit with you for an hour or two and just keep telling you the same story over and over and over. And you're like, stop it. I'm done hearing the story. Like, I get it. I get the story. I got the story. But here's the solution. What are you going to do about it? And normally they'll start telling you the story again. And it's super annoying. It's just one of those things that they love to do. If someone keeps explaining the problem but never applies the solution, they don't want help. They just want validation. They just want you to be like, yeah, it's okay, or no. They really want you to just agree with them most of the time. They want you to say, yeah, it's okay. It's just what it is. It is what it is. You're not going to be able to do anything about it. They don't want the real solution. They don't want to take responsibility for themselves. They don't want to take ownership of how they got into this position, anyways. And so they just keep going on looking for the validation and looking for you to join in on their pity party. And we're not going to stand for that. We're not going to go for the pity parties. We're getting away from pity parties in 2026. So the reason why this pattern exists is attention feels safer than the change does. Change is hard for anybody, and we've always talked about that. But the change is where the growth happens. Sympathy feels easier than discipline. Being the victim removes responsibility. Growth requires discomfort. Attention doesn't. Attention allows you to just sit on the couch or go have some drinks, sit at the bar, talking to your friend about the situation that's happening. It's not getting the actual problem solved. It's just getting the attention, getting the sympathy. Feel bad for me. I'm so the I'm so miserable the way it is. So this isn't about being a bad person. It's about being stuck in an identity that gets rewarded for staying broken. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you can't get out of it, but it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of uncomfortable time to get there, to pass what you're going through. You got to get uncomfortable. Like, we talk about this all the time, but if you just want to stay stuck and don't get uncomfortable, then you're going to be in that position all the time. Like, you're just gonna keep going back and forth, telling the same story over and over. Social media has definitely made this worse because of the fact that we're oversharing pain. It gets likes. I really don't share the pain and misery that goes through on in my life. I do share some of the good things. Should we share all the bad things? I don't know. Like, I mean, we should probably share it and then show what you did to fix it. But a lot of times I don't know what I did to fix it. I just got it fixed. I just handled the situation. And a lot of people are that way. It's the people that overshare with the pain and start loving the likes from it. And then they just keep going on and on and on. And then the stories, you're like, this is getting old. Just go out and fix it. Struggle gets engagement, which is super true. Healing in silence gets ignored because you're not posting about it. You're not showing it. But even if you tell people you've healed, most of the time it's not going to get the hearts that the struggle gets or the oversharing, the pain gets. The hearts and the likes are what people go for over and over and over. It's what brings the drama is what brings all the people to the yard. It's crazy how the drama can outweigh the actual solutions that people come up with to get through the problem. It's crazy how that goes, because the problems on social media, you'll just get comments after comments after comments, and the solution just like, oh, okay, thanks for sharing. Some people learn, if I stay in the pain, I get seen, and that's dangerous. You don't want to be there. I don't want to stay in the pain. I definitely don't want to stay in the pain. You don't want to stay in the pain. You, just because you're being seen doesn't mean it's a good scene. You want to get out there, fix the problem, move on to the next solution, move on to the next thing, because you're always going to have a problem. If you just keep reliving the same problem, it's going to be a rough life and a long life for sure. The cost of staying in attention mode, you never heal, you never grow, you're just stuck. You exhaust the people around you, and I've already rolled my eyes a few times during this. You build an identity around struggle. You lose trust with yourself. Keep saying you're gonna fix it and not fixing it. You're gonna lose trust, and then therefore you're just gonna stay in the non-growth mode. You're just gonna stay where you're at. You're not gonna change. You're not gonna change into a different person. You're just gonna be the same stuck person telling the same story about how you broke your arm in high school and you can't throw the ball anymore. Instead of moving on with it, getting your life together, and changing what you need to change in your mindset to get you to the place you need to be next. Pain that's never acted on becomes a personality. It becomes your identity, really. You just become that person that I had this happen to me, so therefore I am this way. Let's get out of that. Let's break that habit. Let's break that pain, heal from the pain, and get out of that and change that personality. The hard truth about the growth is real growth looks boring. It's super boring. Nobody really goes over it. They just talk about they read some books and things like that. But it really takes a lot of things. It takes your boundaries, setting up your boundaries. Don't let people suck your time. Don't let the whiners in. Don't let the attention seekers in. Don't let any of those people in. You got to cut those people out. You got to stay consistent. The consistency is number one or number two on the list. Accountability. You got to take accountability for your actions, and you got to take accountability for where you're at now. And you got to take accountability for where you want to be in the future. Quiet progress. I usually don't say a whole lot about my progress or what I've grown through over the last 10 to 15 years. I just think it's normal. So I don't really know where to start, but it's not normal for people to have as much growth as I did. I would love to hear some of y'all's growth and what's changed in your life over the last 10 years and where you've come from. Fewer words, more action. Definitely more action. It's all about action. You can talk and talk and talk to oblivion, but unless you take action, nothing's going to happen. And this is why fewer people choose it. It's hard. Nobody wants to take the accountability. Quiet progress. Everyone wants to boast about it and get the likes on social media. It's just not how it works. You got to stay quiet. You got to stay boring. And boring fixes yourself and makes yourself a better person. How to shift from attention to transformation. Stop retelling the same story and start rewriting it. Change it up. Switch it up. Go into the uncomfortable zone. Find out what makes you uncomfortable and go towards it. Ask, what am I avoiding by staying here? You're probably avoiding a lot. A lot of times it's going to be drugs, alcohol, keeping you there because you're avoiding staying sober and avoiding your problems that you have. You're avoiding the emotions that you have. You're just avoiding a whole bunch of other things that you should face head on. You got to replace the venting with some action. You just got to go for it. You've heard all the stories about what will fix it, but you're not letting yourself fix it by not taking the action. You got to choose discomfort over sympathy. Go head first into the discomfort zone. Stay out of the comfort zone. Get uncomfortable and just ride the wave that you're going to have. Let go of that identity that keeps you stuck. Just let it go. You are a different person. You're not that same person that you were in the past. You've changed over the 5 years, and you can change even more over the next 5 years. Don't stay stuck with that identity. Change that identity and change your life. Ask yourself this honestly. Am I asking for help or am I asking to be seen? Because attention feels good for a moment, but change feels good for a lifetime. The more I change, the better my life has become. And I really appreciate everybody listening to this. If you got any value out of this, please share, like, and subscribe to the channel. And I really appreciate it. But that's the pod. Have a great day.